Hello everybody, welcome back to Much Taming Macros, Part 3. In this one I'm going to cover some different healing options and targeting options and do some troubleshooting as well, show you why some options don't work and why some options are better than others. So on our screens we're going to go to Create, Macros. Under Targeting we're going to go to Items Abilities. Down at the bottom you'll find Bandage Self and Bandage Selected Target. The limitation with these is that they only work with bandages that are in your backpack and not in a subcontainer like your first aid belt. So here you can see I've put all my bandages in here. Click OK. Just drag it down. This is just for testing purposes. Click on your... For this to work, you have to have an active target with a cursor around it. And then select the button. And you'll see over here in our journal it says you must carry a stack of bandages before using the bandage macro. This is why many people's macros appear to have been broken when the first aid belt came out. Because of course we stashed our bandages in them, and of course they couldn't find it anymore. That's why I came up with the option of using it the way I did, with just dragging the stack of bandages over to the hotbar. That way it doesn't matter. Another way, speaking of that, to do your healing macro is just to grab a stack of bandages, bring it over, drop it on the macro bar, right click, target. You can do current, which means you have to manually select the target. You can do stored, and this will let you quickly change over to each pet. I find it very handy, depending on the what I'm doing. Yet another way is create macro. Grab our bandage stack, pull it over. We're going to use the item, and then we're going to go to targeting, scroll all the way down. Target severely injured follower, put that first. Wait for target. Cursor target current. Just call it heal 1 just for testing purposes. Select OK. Drag it down. And it targets the pet. This is a good alternative to the way I do it with target nearest follower. It works the exact same way. One good option here is this works really well with multiple pets. If you have all as one going, or if you're just hunting with a little pack, this will help you as long as you're within your 2-tile range. This will help you keep them healed without having to do much more. Target my way target nearest is limited by distance. I just have to move over and get in range of the pet that I want to heal. Another way, we're going to create heal 2. It's the way I've seen a lot of people do it. And it works, but it's not as functional as this way because it requires some additional setup. We're going to go to pet targeting. And we're going to go to store default pet 1. And then target default pet 1 goes over here. And again, we always put that first. Then go to cursor targeting. Wait for target. Cursor target current. Click OK. Store the pet. Drag it over. Heal 2. And as you can see, it tries to heal it. This is fairly functional. Every time you pull a pet in and out, you have to restore it. So you do stable, now if I try and heal, it just comes up with the cursor because I haven't restored the target. Restore, and now it comes up and it works. Another way. We're going to do heal 3. Drag our bandages. Be easier if I did it this way. And we're going to go to mounts. I found that this works really well without having to do dual, as long as it's a mountable mount. And this works for like Kushis. Let's take him. And it'll come up and it'll give you a cursor, store it, and then we go back to our cursor targeting, wait for target, cursor target current. Grab heal 3, pull it over, and you can see that because it's mountable, it'll find it. This keeps me from having to have multiple icons over here for each store action, as long as it's a mountable pet. Check out heal 4. Another way I've seen people do this is to do store default object 1 and store their bandages, and then target default 1, targeting, use targeted object, and then you have to target the nearest follower. Wait for target, and then cursor target current. You can see this is rather clunky compared to the other ways we've done it. It's functional, but it's not as doesn't have as much utility as the other ways I've shown you. So those are all different ways that you can go about targeting your pet, storing a target. I like the nearest, of course, because it's just a lot more functional and adaptable to many different situations. Thank you very much for following along on this journey, and I'll see you soon on part 4.